If you're watching this video, it's because you're awesome, and you're about to learn something that makes you even more awesome. Welcome back, viewers. This video is part of our series on A4LD and 4R70W. Internal parts, the hard parts. Hopefully this will help you be able to avoid interchangeability problems. We're going to go over the output shafts of the AODs and aod-e's and 4R70Ws, starting with the fact that they are easily identifiable from other transmissions like the A4LD. As you can see, the obvious huge difference. A4LD output shafts. We're only dealing with the two-wheel drive output shafts right now because, as you'll see, there is enough differences there to start with. In the beginning, 7-tooth, right here where the Speedo gear rides, there's a 7-tooth output shaft that is 15 inches long. It's AOD, you can tell because of 4 rings here. 1, 2, 3, 4 rings and 3 feed holes. They're also an 8-tooth, 15 inches long. There is an 8-tooth and a 7-tooth that is 16 inches long. These would come in Lincolns and some of the F-150, F-250. Then you have the 4R70W, 75W output shafts. We'll get to them in a minute. These AODs, you also have a version here with an O-ring right here near the splines. You notice these don't have that. All these right here is for the factory. These will be sitting here on the splines near the end to keep dust and stuff from getting into the unit in the factory before the output shaft is put in. And when the output shaft comes here, it just pushes that out of the way and it harmlessly sits there and doesn't do anything. This, however, this O-ring is a seal to keep fluid in the transmission because the yoke that they use on those will have a hole back here. And this is not a Ford yoke, so it's not a really good example of the hole. There is a small hole back here, and that hole is a vent hole, so when your yoke slides back and forth and it's sealed up against this O-ring, the air can escape as it moves back and forth without the fluid escaping past the O-ring. Now these are obviously mated to a yoke that does not have a vent hole here, and because there's no O-ring, the air can go in and out of the transmission as the yoke moves and in and out of the vent hole of the transmission. Now you can replace one of these with one of these if you take the yoke, the Ford yoke, obviously not this yoke, it's a GM yoke, and you clean it out inside where the hole is down there. Take like a bottle cap or something, and the smooth side, put silicone on it and put it down in there up against the hole. Then that seals off the vent hole so that you can use it with a shaft like this that does not have the O-ring. Since there are O-ring versions of each one of these, and there are 2 versions of the 15-inch shaft, a 7 and an 8 tooth 15-inch shaft, a 7 and an 8 tooth 16-inch shaft, a version with an O-ring of each one of those, you have 8 different shafts for the AOD alone. Then when you get into the 4R70W, 4R75W, what the difference is here is you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 rings on the AOD. You have 3 rings on the 4R70W. This is also true on the aod-e's. The aod-e's, 4R70Ws, and 4R75Ws have 3 rings. And they have all the same versions that these AODs have, which means there are 8 different versions of these, which gives you 16 different shafts on the AODs, aod-e's, 4R70Ws, without counting any of the 4x4 shafts. So I hope this helps you. I hope this clears this up. And if you want to know more about parts interchangeability on the AODs. Watch some of my other videos on the AODs and 4R70Ws. And there will be links in the descriptions to the parts that I talk about. And on the other videos of the other hard parts, I will link those hard parts too. Even if you think I should put all of these together into a full-length video showing all the hard parts from stem to stern, front to back on Amazon, and sell that thing, then let me know in the description. If you think that it won't sell, you know, and I shouldn't even bother to put a big long video like that together, then put that in the description too. I'd like to hear your opinions on that. Till the next video, get off the couch and get dirty. Remember folks, if you don't like being burnt, bruised, and bleeding, the only safe way to do your repairs is just pay somebody else to do it. Welcome to Saneauto. We're so glad you're here. We don't just do repairs and tool reviews.
Bienvenida a Saneauto. Nosotros no solamente hacemos reparaciones de autos.
We also film hot rods and mod rods, project cars, classic cars, antiques.
Nosotros también filmea autos antiguos, mod rods, hot rods, cualquiera.
We also like to take you with us to the car shows and the cruise-ins, so make sure you subscribe and hit that little bell so you don't miss anything.
Me gustaría llevarte con nosotros a los cruise-ins y car shows. Entonces, empuja ese botón y toca de campaña para que no pierda nada.
Thank you for watching our videos. Many of the events, shows, and people that we feature support much needed charities.
Bastante de eventos que nosotros filmea soporta caridad.
Please take a child or a friend to one of these events and make sure that they're aware of all the good works that the great people of the car community do.
Por favor, lleva un niño o un amigo a los eventos para que sepa de buenos trabajos que hacen los coordinadores de evento. Muchas gracias. Hasta luego.